Hello, hello. I'm trying to get everything situated here. Let me just see if I can get myself live over on my other screen. We'll get going in a couple of minutes here while I try and get everything set up. All right. There we go. Look at that. This time it popped up right away, which doesn't happen very often. I don't seem to get that working as often as I'd like. All right, so we're gonna get going. We're actually gonna continue with our layout that we created, or the cutting that we created for the Everyday You and Me scrapbooking workshop. So this is the workshop instructions. And last week, what we did is we created layout number 1. So that was this first layout here. We did all of the cutting, so we walked through how to do all of the cutting for all 3 layouts, and we put together layout number 1 as part of that. And I want to just see if I can straighten myself up just a smidge here before we get going. And I'm playing with the phone. Nope, that made it more crooked. Let me go this direction just a smidge. See if that's straighter. I have to wait for it to show up on my screen. That looks a little bit better. Okay, so we're just going to move my mats around a little bit as we get ourselves situated. See if we can get everything in the picture there. All right, so it is 2 o'clock Pacific time, and we are going to get going. So like I was saying, we are going to be working on the Everyday You and Me workshop layout number 2. Depending on timing, we may try and do layout number 3 as well, though this is not my favorite layout, and so this is one that I potentially may change because it is not my favorite layout. So I'm not sure if we'll have time to do that today. I may do that next week and make some changes to this one because I like the flowers and I like the design in the bracket, but I don't like the bracket itself. There's something about the bracket that just is not appealing to me. So I might want to make some changes to that one. So the additional technique is adding color with blending brushes, and the blending brushes and the ink that we were going to be using is the Pecan Pie. So if you have Pecan Pie, great. If not, if you have Close to My Heart colors, Toffee, or Acorn, either one of those would also work for this. And then I'm just using a blending brush that I have in my stash. So those are 2 things that we're going to need. We're going to need the die cuts that came as part of the kit, and then we're going to need all of the pieces that we labeled last week with the number 2 on it. So on the back of all of these pieces, we labeled so that we knew that it was part of layout number 2. So I've got a bunch of labeled pieces here that are for layout number 2, including some bigger pieces here that are part of layout number 2. So you want to gather all of those things together. And then we will also need oops, I lost my light. My light just fell down. Let me fix this real quick. We'll get that back up on its stand. And it needs some power. We're going to plug my phone in because it probably will need power as well. And great. So we've got all of those pieces together. Get a bit more light here. And there was something else I was going to say we needed to grab. Oh yeah, we also needed to get our stickers and our die cut sheets together. So we want to have those available, as well as our cardstock that we're going to be using for this kit. So now that we've gotten everything kind of together, we are going to go to the instructions, which start on page 7 of the guide. So there is a preparation step that we need to do, just like we did last week. We're going to color the die cut pieces with the Pecan Pie ink and the blending brush. And we're going to apply the ink to the die cut in a gentle circular motion. Start light, keep adding colors. So when you look at the layout itself, you can see that this die cut right here, this flower die cut, is darker than the leaves that are around it. So that's the piece that we are going to add the pecan pie ink to. And then if you flip it over to the other side, we've got a die cut here and we've got some die cuts over there. And neither one of those are inked up. Now you can choose to ink those up if you want, or you can choose to leave them just the color of the die cuts. So that is up to you. So we are going to grab a piece of paper like we did last time, and we are going to take a look, and we are going to pull out the die cut that we need to ink. And so it's one of these flowers. So we're going to grab that. And let's see, I am looking at, just trying to see if I can see which one it is. We may have used the one that was there as the background one. That's one of the things that, this looks to be more of a solid piece, so we're going to grab this one here. So this is one of the die cuts we need. The other one we need is sort of this open leaf die cut here. So we're going to grab that one, and I think we'll grab this one here. And then on this other side, we've got another big leafy die cut. So we're going to grab that. Try not to lose our pieces in the meantime. So this looks like this one here. And I'm going to just take all of these out, even if I don't add any ink to them. I'm going to just take them all out so that we have them ready to use. All right. Okay, so that's that left side. So we're going to flip the page here and take a look at the right side and pull out this one, which is, just seeing, looks like it's this guy right. Looks like there's two of them there, actually. It looks like there's this one here, and then there's another set of leaves. I think these three leaves right here are also there. So again, you have to do a little bit of investigation to grab all the right pieces. And then on this side, we've got just the solid leaves. And let's see, that looks like, just trying to see if I can, sometimes you have to scan this a little bit. Okay, so I think we're going to take this guy here. It is a solid leaf. It doesn't look like it quite matches, but I think that's the one that they're talking about. It looks a little bit bigger in the picture. Okay, so now that we've got those, we're going to go ahead and put this back in the envelope so we don't lose any of our pieces. And we'll set that aside. All right, so we've got our left side and we've got our right side here. And we're going to take these, and like I said, you can ink up as many of these or as few of these as you like. So in the way that I am looking at the instructions, the only thing that they've really inked up is the one flower. So that's where we're going to start. All right, so I'm just opening up my pecan pie, and I've got my blending brush. And remember, this probably has ink in it from last week. When I did it, because I haven't cleaned the brush. So I can start with the ink that's actually sitting in the brush, and you want to do a circular motion, and you want to start, in this case, off the page so that you can, and well, this case we haven't added any ink, so I probably don't need to start off the page or off the die cut, but you can come in from the outside and come in. And another thing with these smaller pieces, you can take any of your tools that you might have and just use them as a way to anchor the piece. It also will keep your fingers a little less inky. Is that a word? I think it's a word. A little less inky. And then again, we're going to flip this around, and work on the other side and ink this up. And you're going to make it as dark as you want. They actually made this pretty dark, so we're going to keep adding some ink here, and then we'll lift it off of the white and just see if we like it. So again, if you compare these two, we'll do a solid piece. If you compare, you can kind of see the difference between the two. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. I want it maybe just a tad bit darker. So we're going to just, again, anchor it down and just add a little bit more just to give it a little bit more depth. And then I think we're good. And then on this one, it didn't show it being inked, but I am going to go ahead and ink the flowers just to make them stand out a little bit more. And so I'm going to just anchor this, and I'm going to come in to these little flower pieces or little buds, and we're going to add just a little bit of color there just to give it some definition from the leaves themselves. So again, this is optional, because when I looked at the layout, it doesn't actually show that they did this, but this is a choice that I'm making for my layout. And that's the beauty of this. This gives you a great starting point that you can work from. It doesn't take any real planning per se, other than time, to make sure that you have the time to put these together. But all the instructions and everything are there, but you can still personalize them, right? And that's the important thing, is being able to personalize this either to your pictures or to your style. And so that's kind of decisions that you get to make as part of that. So again, just added some ink on those, just a little bit. And now we are done with the prep for this layout. So I'm going to just leave all of these pieces on this piece of paper so that I know where they are. And I'm going to just set them off to the side. And that is good. And we'll put that away. Okay, so now we have to get our pieces ready to make this left side layout. So it's starting with one of the Pretty Peacock base pages, and it's saying adhere 2A and 2B to the light side of Pretty Peacock. Now, if you remember, I made a mistake last week where I did the dark side. So I'm going to actually read the instructions, and we're going to do the light side. And then we're going to put this is A, so if I turn this over, this is 2A. So we're going to add this on top. And then we're going to add the 2B, which I believe should be this one. If I'm not, yes, 2B, I've got that. So these are going to get layered on, and you can decide which way you like it to go, which direction you like the colors. They actually have the lighter colors at the top, the aqua colors, and then the wheat color, or the yellow gold color down here at the bottom. So that's how they have it oriented. Now remember, last week we used a solid piece as well, but you're layering a lot of pieces of paper on top of each other, and I really don't need the center of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gut this out. I'm going to take it and I'm going to take out the center of this paper, and I can use that on another layout or on something else in the future. So I'm going to put this in my trimmer, and to the right hand side I'm going to put it at the 1-inch mark, and then I'm going to come up to the 1-inch mark on my ruler on the right hand side here. And I know this is kind of hard to see, but I'm going to push the blade down at that 1-inch mark, and I'm going to come down to the 11-inch mark down here at the bottom. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to run this at 1 inch from the outside and in the middle to create a gutted piece of paper, what we call a gutted piece of paper. So we're just going to keep doing that 4 times. And I am on the light side. got it up there to 1. Okay. And then we're going to do one last time, and we'll do this on the other side as well when we get to that paper. And we're just going to come down to the 11. And we're just going to pop this out. Now I do have, looks like I kind of missed a spot right there, so we'll grab our scissors and we'll just snip that out. Again, this is all going to be hidden in the, with the paper being layered on top of it. So if anyone has any questions about this, please feel free to comment. I am actually able to see comments today. I've gotten that side. Okay, so this is an extra piece, so I'm going to just set that aside on my table here, and we'll put this away. And now we can start building our our layers up. So I'm going to lay this on my Versamat. And we're going to start with the 2A, which is this beautiful floral tone. It's not really a tone on tone, but it's a white on top of this really pretty grayish color. And we're going to grab our adhesive, and I'm actually going to put the adhesive actually on the base because I want it to be close to the edge of that piece that I cut out, close to that line. So we're just going to add the adhesive here. And remember, with scrapbooks pages or memory pages, these are going to be inside of memory protectors. So we want to use adhesive. We want to use, the right amount of adhesive. But we don't have to be quite as heavy with the adhesive on our scrapbook pages because they are going to be in actual protective sleeves, and they're not going to be handled in the same way a card would be handled by somebody. All right, so we're going to put this, and I did not get that centered the way I wanted it to, so we're going to gently try and take this off of the adhesive, not tear the paper. And I think I'm going to start at the bottom here. Okay. So we're looking for what would be about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom and the sides and the top. So we're looking to try and keep that at about 1/4 of an inch. So it did pretty good with that. It's not quite 1/4 of an inch, but that's close enough. All right, so then the next piece that we're going to do is we're going to put this piece on. And let's just double check our measurements here. So it's saying that we want the 2B to be 3/4 of an inch. So again, I'm looking at the measurements here. We want this is the 2B, we want it 3/4 of an inch from the piece we just laid down, not from the edge, but from the piece we just laid down. So again, we can use our Versamat. So for over 1/4 of an inch, we need to go 3/4. So we want to be at about 1. And again, we're trying to center this as best we can. So I'm just eyeballing it now just to see if I kind of feel like I'm centered on there. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now we've done our adhering to 2A and 2B. And we're going to now find our 2C and our 2D. So 2C and 2D. That looks like 2D. 2J, 2C. Okay, 2C and 2D. And we are going to add those to the layout. So one of them we are going to do on the stripe, or both of these are going to be on the stripe side. And so those are laying off to the edge here. And then we've got 2E, which is this piece here that we're going to put on. So looking at that, let's just double check all of that. Okay, so that's all good. Okay, so we are going to put 2C, 2¼ inches in from the piece we literally just laid down, the piece that is the watercolor wash. So we're going to go 2¼ inches in, and we're going to be 2 inches up from the bottom. So 2¼ inches in from this line. So you're going to go over 2¼ which would be right here at 3¼ So it's going to come in here. And then I want to go up 2 inches from the bottom. And that 2 inches is also from the bottom of the watercolor paper. Okay, so we want to go 2 inches up. So that would put us right about here. So again, you can be as precise as you want to be. It does not have to be as precise as what I'm showing you, but what I'm trying to do is show you how you handle these measurements. So we're going to go ahead and put some adhesive on this, and then we're going to realign that. So at 3¼ here, and then I'm going to eyeball 2 inches up, which would put me at about the 3. And so we're going to lay that down right about there. Okay, so the 2D piece is only going to be 1/4 inch from the watercolor paper. It's going to be 1/4 inch and 2 inches up. So it's going to be the same height as this one, but it's going to be a much smaller number from this side. So you can come over to this, and we're going to do 1/4 inch here. Put some adhesive on this. And we want it to be in line with this piece. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do it like this, and I'm going to eyeball 1/4 inch here, because I'd rather it be even on the side and maybe a little less than 1/4 inch on the other side. Personally, I think lining it up will make more sense. So try not to push things around too much here. And then I am orienting it so that this sort of matches up. And that just happened to get lucky that the way I cut it, I'm able to match it up. So that's about 1/4 inch in from the right. Okay, so that is that piece. Now the next piece is our 2E. So this is 2E, and we're going to use the dots, and we are going to adhere. Do not use adhesive along the side. So what it's saying is don't put adhesive along this side here, because you can see we're tucking things underneath that. So we don't want to put adhesive down this left side so that we can tuck things underneath it, but we want to adhere our photo to this, and this is going to be one of our 4x6 photos. So that's going to get adhered. And I'm actually going to use foam tape on this because I want my photo to actually, and so what I want to decide here is, do I want the photo or do I want the whole thing lifted up? So I'm not sure which way I want to go. I'm going to look. Do I want the whole thing? I think I want the whole thing. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll just put adhesive on this. And again, we want to center this on this piece of paper. I don't think that's straight. Let's try that again. Okay, good. Okay, and then we're going to add foam tape on this. Now, we want to make sure that we're not putting foam tape on this left side right up against that edge. So I'm going to come in a little bit and add some foam tape there. And we'll add foam tape here. Here. And then just looking, I think I might add some foam tape right up there. Okay, this needs a little bit of adhesive because I got to the end of the rolls, so we'll just put a little bit of adhesive there and then we're good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and adhere this. Oops, down. So I love watercolors. I'm really getting into watercolors, which is one of the reasons I really like this kit, because I just love the watercolor washes on this. And I think it can go with a lot of our ocean photos or our beach photos or anything like that. Okay, so this piece, before I go any further, this piece is going to be 1.5 inches up from the watercolor paper. So again, we're starting at 1.5 inches. So we're going to go up to right here. So this is at 1.5. Okay, so right, make sure I'm straight. 1.5 is going to be right here. Again, I'm being very precise. I'm not typically this precise, honestly. And then let's see, does it say how far in? It says 2 3/8 in from the this far edge is where this is supposed to go. So, but I'm going to eyeball this because it's about this. It's covering a little bit of both of these, and so I'm going to go ahead and just eyeball this one and not worry about that measurement to the right side. Okay, so that's down. Okay, so embellish with die cuts and stickers, tucking one under 2E. So we're going to pull out now all of our embellishment pieces that we need. So that means we're going to bring in our die cuts and our sticker sheet. So one of the die cuts we're going to use is this one right here. So this is the big piece that's the landing spot for our happy place and for our other die cuts. So we've got that one. Then we've got this, and I know it's kind of hard to see. So that's this piece here. Then we've got this piece under here, which is the this, I think it's going to be this smaller one. So we're going to grab this guy. This says project 2. Sorry, I forgot to show you guys that. So on the back, it does say which projects these are for. So this is for project 2. So you can easily identify which die cuts go with each one. And I'm just going to double check. Yeah, so project 2 is also going to use this one, but we're going to use that on the other side. And then our happy place is again part of project 2. So we're going to pull that. And then I think the last one is this flower here is going to be part of project 2. Just double check. We might use the other things on the other side, but these are the ones we need for this left side. Okay, and then we've got our stickers, and the stickers that we're going to use this sticker and this sticker, as well as this sticker here and this sticker. So we're going to build this left side first, and then we'll build on the other side as well. Okay, so this piece is going to go, and it says it's about a 1/2 inch. No, that's a 1/2 inch. So they don't really have any placement numbers for the embellishments. But if you look at this, it's got a little bit of an overhang. That's about 1 inch of an overhang on this piece. Now this piece is super long. I don't need all of that. I just need it to tuck under this piece. So I'm going to grab a pencil, and I'm going to just eyeball this about where I want it. And I'm going to just put a little pencil mark to cut from. And it's going to be hard to see. You can't probably see it on that paper too well, but I've got a little pencil mark there. And I'm going to cut this because I can use this piece for something else. There's no reason for all of this paper that's not going to be seen to sit underneath this. So we're going to cut that, and this now I can use, and it's actually a nice square, I can use on another layout. So this is how you can extend and use these for these pieces for additional layouts. And you'll also notice that this piece here that I cut did not come all the way to the other side, which is also how I know I can cut this as well. Okay, so we're going to add some adhesive to this piece, and we are going to just determine where we want it. I think we're going to come down just a smidge here, like so. And we are good with that piece. Now we can start doing our layering. Okay, so we've got our circle that's going to go down here. We've got our happy place. We're going to take out this little this little center. We don't need that. And we've got, don't need that piece yet. We need our leaf. We need the die cut that we pulled out, and we need a sticker. So I'm going to lay down, I'm going to kind of dry fit this to see how I like it, where I want things, and make sure that I am happy with the layout here. And then if we grab the sticker, it's going to sit like this. Okay, I think that's all good. Okay, so it's a matter of what things we want popped up and what things we don't. So I'm going to leave this piece flat. And like I said, this is just all personal preference. At this point, everything that I'm doing is personal preference. It doesn't have anything to do with layout or anything else. It's just what I prefer, what I like to look at. Okay, so this is going to be flat as well. You could use liquid adhesive on this if you prefer liquid adhesive. Again, I'm going to just add tape runner to this, and we're going to put this sort of like that. And then I'm going to put this up on 3D foam tape. I think I cut that a little bit long. That works. Oops, that one's a little long. Cut that there. And one more little piece here. Perfect. Take off all those backers. This is why I prefer foam tape. It's a little bit easier to take off all the backs. Okay, so we're going to sort of do this at an angle here. Give it some visual interest. And then on this one, I think we will just slide it right underneath this instead of putting it on top. And I think we might go like that. Okay. All right. So that piece is done. So then I've got this little flower, which is sitting on top up here. Now this is going to overlap the picture. So I don't want any adhesive on this bottom piece here. So I want to make sure that when I put my adhesive on, I'm only putting it where it's going to touch the paper and not touch my photo, so that I can actually put my photo, I can slip my photo underneath here, and hopefully you can kind of see what I mean by that. Okay, so now let's do this upper corner here. So that's going to use this tag and this tag from the adhesive, from the sticker sheet. And this is going to be lined up at the top of the watercolor paper here, and it's going to be over about what looks like maybe a half an inch. So we'll put that on at about a half an inch and lined up there at the top. And then this flag is going to have the point be right at where the ending line is of that sticker. And if you wanted to, you could pop these up, but I don't think we need to. So again, we've got sort of that layered sticker look on that one. All right, then over on the right hand side over here, we're going to grab the dream. Actually, that's the first thing we want to grab is this dream. So this dream is layered underneath the tag. So we're going to lay this. Now, this is also supposed to overlay on your photo, but the problem is if you do that, you're going to stick it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, that extra space of the sticker here, the backing of the sticker, and I'm actually going to lay this down and I'm going to cut. And you'll see in a minute exactly how this is going to work. So I'm going to cut this like that. Okay, so I'm laying it down on the sticker sheet and there is a little bit of overhang there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, from the bottom of this, I'm actually going to cut off half of the sticker backer. Not the sticker itself, the backing of the sticker. So probably right around where the dovetail is, I'm going to just come, and I can take that off now. Make sure it doesn't stick to your sticker, your other stickers. And we're just going to cut this in half. And it doesn't have to be precise. You just want to have that sticker paper usable for you. And then what you're going to do is you're going to stick the sticker back on the sticker paper. And what that's going to allow you to do is when you lay this down on your page, and I have adhered it, I will still be able to peel off this sticker paper and slip my photo underneath it. So I'm going to just double check how we're doing this. So we're going to just do like that. And so I'm going to stick this bottom part down, but this upper part is still free. And it's because I've got this sticker paper there and I can slide my photo under. Once my photo is there, then I can pull the sticker backer off of this. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. I'm going to do the same thing with this sticker because again, this sticker is sitting on top of the photo. So in this case, what I'm probably going to do, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I think I can probably make it work by again using this little bottom spot here, and we'll cut off some of this and use again this bottom part that we already used on our first layout. So I'm going to grab that and I'm going to stick the sticker paper, the shiny side, not the dull side, the shiny side, and I'm going to go ahead and I need it a little bit higher up, I think. So this upper half is going to be the part that's going to overlap the picture. So as you can see then, when I do that, that's going to allow me to peel this off once I get my photo ready. And this one needs some 3D foam tape because it's going to come off the side here, and I have this picture popped up. So we're going to go ahead and take some of the adhesive off with our little embossing powder anti-static pouch, because we're going to add some 3D foam tape on the other side. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully people understand exactly what I'm doing. This is a way, again, that we can make sure that if we don't have our photos at the time that we're making the layout, because, you know, if you go to a crop or something like that, you don't always have your photos that you may want to put on this, but you want to work on this project and take the photos home. Now, normally I wouldn't put this up on 3D foam tape until after I journaled on it because it's kind of hard to journal. But in order to make this work, I need to have it up on 3D foam tape. So what I might do in this case is I might, I'm just going to move this over just a little bit more. I might print out my journaling and put it on here. So that's another idea here. Okay, I think I like it right there. So we've got that. And then the next thing we need to add is that flower and our 2 open leaves that we had. So that is going on top of this piece. So again, I'm going to grab just a little bit of 3D foam tape because that needs to get popped up. And I'm going to try and hide it. Cut it small enough so I can hide it on the back here, and hopefully it won't show through too much. That looks pretty good, so let's do 2 more. And the leaves will actually go underneath, so I'm going to just lay those flat, I think. I think those will be fine flat. Okay, so let's just dry fit this. Let's see, we go like that. And then we have a leaf here and a leaf here, like that. Okay, I think that'll work. So put some adhesive here. Let's put the leaves on first. And then we'll put the last die cut on there. Anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Again, this is the Everyday You and Me scrapbooking workshop. So I'm just following all the instructions on layout number 2 for this workshop. I did layout 1 last week, and all the cutting. So I walked through how to do all of the cutting for the workshop and how to read it. Okay, so just double checking that I didn't miss anything, and it looks like I've got this one all done. Okay. All right, so let's start working on the left side. So we'll bring over our pieces here. So again, we've got the flamingo color. Pretty peacock. Sorry, flamingo is the wrong. Flamingos are pink. And then we've got our pieces, and this is the second half of the layout, which is a more grid kind of layout. Okay, very similar, but a grid. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to gut this piece out because, again, we are overlaying a bunch of different pieces here. Actually, I might change my mind on that because we are actually going to need, this is not one solid piece, this is 2 pieces. I think we're going to need the stabilization of having a full piece of paper on this one, because this is one piece and this is a second piece, and so we have this seam down the middle. If we don't have cardstock underneath it, this seam is going to create gaps. Now, probably won't matter in a when you put it actually in a memory protector, but it's gonna lose some of its stability by not having a piece here. So I think we're going to just go ahead and leave this one whole and not gut it out like we did the other piece. All right, so assembly, we're going to do 2F, which is this piece here, and we are going to do, am I missing a piece? 2G. That's 2J, 2H, 2I. I am missing 2G. Hold on, let me find it. 2G, found it. It was in my 3 pile instead of in my 2 pile. Okay, so we're going to take, this is 2G and this is 2F, and we are going to adhere those 2 down. Okay, so we're going to come in 1/4 of an inch again from the left hand, from the sides and the top. So we'll start with this one, and we will add adhesive, and again, try and keeping it aligned on our Versamat. I really do like any kind of mat, whether it's the old Versamat from Close to My Heart or other mats where you have grid lines that can really help you lay it out. Makes it a whole lot easier than, chances are your lines will be more straight. Not necessarily 100%, but slightly better. And I'm just eyeballing this, so I'm just making sure that I'm a 1/4 inch from the edge and a 1/4 inch down, 1/4 inch from the edge over here, and a 1/4 inch down. Okay, so then we are using the flower side again of this one. So, and if you like this striped version better than the flower, flip over the paper. No one says you have to use the flower version. If you prefer the stripe, or you're trying to do a boys page with these, because these colors are very, very conducive to either a girl or a boy page, flip it over and use the stripe. Okay, you don't need to keep it the way it is in the layout. You get that option. So if you like the stripe better, use the stripes. That's two-sided papers are really helpful. This one is a single-sided paper. You don't have a backside. But again, I think for a boy, if you had the stripe, these flowers are very muted. I'm not sure that would, and you're going to cover them up with more stripes. So you probably are going to be okay with using this for a boy page. All right, so the next pieces we're going to do are 2H and 2I. So those are these two, but we are going to use the stripe side. Again, doesn't matter if you have stripes here and stripes here. You can do that. Okay, that's fine. All right, so I think what we're going to do is on this one, this is supposed to be 3 inches from the bottom. Is what I'm seeing here. 3 inches from the bottom, all the way from the bottom, unlike the other side where we were measuring from the pieces that we laid down. So this is 3 inches up and 3/4 of an inch in from the left. Okay. And I'm not going to pop this up. This is all going to be standard. So we're going to go 3 inches up from here, which would put it there. And then we want to go 3/4 of an inch in. So again, if you really want to, you can pull out your T ruler and put the ruler at 3/4 here, and then eyeball the 3, which is right about there, and lay that down. And then there is a 1/2 inch between these two pieces. So this is, that is about a 1/2 inch there. Okay, again, doesn't have to be perfect. No one's going to know but you and the instructions aren't going to talk. Okay, so then the next piece that we have to adhere is this last piece, which is our dot piece. And we're going to make sure that our dots are going vertical. If you like that, that's the direction that they have it here. And if you like this side better, use this side. Again, your layout. You don't have to follow exactly the instructions for the paper selection if you like something better. Okay, so this one is going to be 3/8 of an inch, sorry, 1/2 inch in from the right-hand side, the edge of the base page, and 3 inches up from the bottom. So it's going to be in line with this one here. So again, this is where I would bring my T ruler up. Hopefully I'm fairly straight there. And then I would eyeball the 1/2 inch from the edge over here. Because really it's about the alignment down at the bottom being equal, not necessarily the number on the other side. So it's not quite even. It looks like it's supposed to be semi-even, but I'm okay with this. I could pull it up, but I've already pushed it down and I don't want to accidentally tear any paper. Okay, so then we have our photos. So we've got our 3x3 photos that we're going to put here. So we've got those 4. You could substitute one of these as well for a journaling spot, but you've got lots of journaling spots on this particular layout, so I'm not sure you need to do that. You could also add flip-flaps to this page. This would be a great place if you have more pictures to add flip-flaps. This layout, this would be really good. Again, because I like to have some dimension, I'm going to add 3D foam tape to the backs of my pictures. And then we will start the embellishing, and then this page is done. So the nice thing, one of the things that I've been struggling with is that I have been super busy with lots of different things going on in my life for various different reasons. And I haven't been as creative as I want to be. A lot of times I like to play around and design my own pages or work on something that's different, create a sketch. But the problem I have is that I don't have time. It takes me a long time. I am not like some other creators or demonstrators out there that you see on YouTube or on Instagram who is really good at designing quickly. So these are supposed to be 3/8 of an inch in and 3/8 of an inch down. And again, I'm going to eyeball this. I'm not going to measure that. And so that's been a struggle for me, which is why I hadn't been posting as much on YouTube, is because I really was struggling to come up with stuff that I could spend the time to actually design. And so what I've decided as I switch out here is these are already designed, and this allows me to quickly get pages done, and quickly allows me to come on here and show you how to create these. Now I might make some modifications to them depending on the kit, like the last page of this layout set, and I might build a additional layout with the leftovers, but that is a lot less effort for me to work with or to do than to come up with a new design every week. And so my feeling is if I can come on here and use the pre-created kits and show you how to put them together, how quickly they can be put together, I think that's a value add as well. And hopefully people enjoy it. I get to be creative. That makes me happy. And I don't have to spend hours and hours and hours trying to come up with new ideas. So hopefully that's something that you guys want to see. All right, so now we've got our pictures down. We're going to start with our embellishments. So we're going to start here down at the bottom where we've got some stickers and we've got some punch outs and things. So the stickers that we need to use, there's the 2 stickers up here at the top, or actually I think this is all 1 sticker. Let's just double check. Yeah, that's all 1 sticker. So it's not 2 stickers. That's great. And we don't have to line them up. So we're going to take this and we are going to, that looks like that's about, what is that, about 1 inch up from the bottom? Yeah, that looks about right. So about 1 inch up from the bottom, and this goes edge to edge. So it goes on the base page, and I'm just trying to use my Versamat to make sure that I'm straight. So we're going to put that down. Then we are going to grab the other piece, the other scalloped circle, the bigger one. We're going to use that one. And that's going to anchor our piece down here. And then we're going to layer on top of that this flower. So we're going to layer that. Hold on, let me grab, is that the right one? Yeah, that's the right one. It looks like we need this piece here. So that's this piece. So I think we'll put that down first. So I'm going to just layer this to start with, and then we'll see if we want to pop this up, because I'm pretty sure I do. But I want to put all the layering pieces together first. So we're going to layer that. Then we're going to put our flower on here. Semi in the middle here, like that. And then we're going to put our 3D foam tape on the back and stick that up for some dimension. Okay, and this is going to be just sort of looking for placement. Looks like right about there. Again, this is up to you where you want to place it. If it's close enough is good enough. Okay, then we have the phrase things to remember here. So that's this one here. And this is actually going to lay on top. So I do need a piece of 3D foam tape on one side of this. So it doesn't have to go the whole way because it's going to overlap the circle, but I do need it on the edge here because I am going to stick it down to, I need to stick it down to the page on this side. So we're going to go like this. Just like that. Okay. And then we have one more sticker that we need to grab, which is this sticker here. And we're going to add that. I actually don't like that it's floating out here, so I'm actually going to do a little bit of tucking here, like that, so that it touches. And then we have another punch out that we need to grab, which is this other flower, line flower that's here. So we're going to grab that guy. And just trying to decide, do I want this one popped up? I think I do. I think I do. Another thing that you could do with this is you could actually ink the edges of it to give it some depth as a piece. I don't necessarily feel like I need to do that, but I could. Okay, so now that cluster is done. So we're going to come up here to this box where we're going to grab Enjoy the Moment. And I think I'm going to pop this guy up as well, which means I need to take the adhesive off with our anti-static pouch. Again, I think I said on the last video, the reason why I like to pop things up is I like dimension, but it gives it shadow and gives it more interest. And so that is one of the reasons why I tend to pop up some of the elements, whether it's the pictures or some of the embellishments and things, because when you add shadows to things, it adds depth. And when you add that depth, it just creates more visual interest on the page. So again, I've just peeled this off of my roll, and I'm adding some adhesive to the back of it to let it stick. So as you can tell, these are, once you get the cutting done, in this particular kit, the cutting was really really simple. This was probably one of the simpler cutting directions that we've had. So when you get these workshops, not only do you get all the paper and all of the embellishments and everything that you need, you also have these pre-designed layouts, which really helps if you're new to scrapbooking or just getting back into scrapbooking. It really is a nice way to sort of jump in and try it again. Okay, so this one, there's a little sticker here at the top, which looks like it's this yellow one. And again, I'm going to need a little bit of foam tape on that. because it's going to be sitting on top of that last sticker that we just did. Had to order new foam tape. This is the last roll of actual foam tape that I have. Now I could definitely use dimensionals if I wanted to. In this case, I could have used a dimensional for sure. But just because I do such large areas of foam tape or foam, the dimensionals are annoying to me. They're just not, it's too much picking off the backings for me personally. All right, so now we've got this final square. So we just finished that one. We've got this final square, and that is going to be a punch, a die cut again. So we've got this round die cut that we're going to use. So that's that piece. We also need our two pieces that we inked. So we've got those two. And then we have this sticker here. So the last sticker for this one. And so we've got to do some dry fitting and see what we want to do here. All right, so we've got this. These overlay each other like so. Trying to see how I want this. I do think this needs to be angled a bit more. And then we're going to have this sticker. It's going to go off to the side. Okay, so that sticker might go up on 3D foam tape. But let's get these guys down first. So we're going to put this flat. And it's going to be just a smidge off to the left. And then we're going to grab our die cuts, or from our, not our die cuts, but they are die cuts, but they're the chipboard ones. So we're going to place that one down first. And then take our second one and layer that on top. Like so. And then we're going to take the adhesive off of this one, again with our anti-static pouch. I know I sound like a broken record right now. I've said that a few times. And then this one is going to lay on top of that, but we're going to pop it up on 3D foam tape. I'm in the fat 3D foam tape, so I just need a little bit to cover that one. And then we are done with this layout. Okay, that's it. We have both of our layouts done. And that took us about an hour to do that whole layout because it was all cut. So I'm going to just bring this up so that you can see the details again. Again, we've got the layered stickers. We've got the die cuts, stickers, and chipboard die cuts. And then we have, again, a layer of stickers and chipboard die cuts. And hopefully everyone can see all of that. Now my lights are a little bit dark looking at that. And then the right hand side, again, we've got our papers layered, and we've got our stickers popped up on 3D foam tape. We've got our chipboard die cuts, stickers, and die cuts. And then our little cluster down here at the bottom. Hopefully everyone can see that. And we have our layout number 2 side by side. So hopefully you learned a little bit, got some good information on how to create these layouts, and maybe learned a couple of techniques. I will most likely, let's see, I'll be back next week for sure. to do layout number 3, and I pretty much will guarantee that layout number 3 here, where we've got this punch out essentially that has this frame, is going to get changed. Like I said at the beginning, this is not my favorite layout, so this one is one where I'm actually going to make some changes to it. So I will be thinking about that, and we'll come back next week and do another layout for this Everyday You and Me, and finish out the designed layouts. And if you remember, I do have a bunch of leftover pieces. I'm going to bring those in so that you can see. I've got leftover cardstock here, and I've got leftover pieces of patterned paper from this kit. So there is enough leftovers here that I can definitely get another 2-page spread out of what is left from the cutting of this kit. So there will probably be 4 total layouts, 2-page layouts themselves that will come from this kit. All right, everyone, thanks for joining me. Hopefully you had a good time. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to come back and answer those. If not, have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Bye.